Alrighty, guys. Draft number 2 is coming out. We'll see if anybody wants to change anything. We did shuffle up the teams a little bit. And we do have, I guess, a Beta Plus is going to be in this game. Alrighty. Zoka will be captain for, it looks like, the Radiant side. And Rock and Rolla is going to be the captain for the Dire side. So we'll see what they're going to come up with. And we'll see what happens for game number 2. Man, my chair squeaks.
They ban out the Invoker right away. That's a hella respect ban right there.
Right, that's definitely a respect ban. They don't want him playing. I said this from the very get-go. Like I said, Koby is definitely, he's played Invoker, I think, quite a bit. So,
and then there's the General Void ban. I think that's just due to the fact that they see Chrono and Chrono Master and Maga or whatever. Second ban from the Radiant is going to be.
We'll have to see.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was something like Nyx or even, I don't know. But it's a Death Prophet, you know.
I still think that if Jug was to be done the new, obviously, like, until recently, they used to build Jug where you would level up Spin and whatnot, but it seems like nowadays, like I said, Mask of Madness, Yasha, Phase Boots, and you get Ring of Aquila. So you go for those items just in general, and you level up pretty much 1 point in your queue just because of the immunity from it, and you level up your crit. And then you can get your healing ward, which will sustainability and all that, and you can even level up stats because the Q is not necessary, essentially, because that ability kind of falls off later in the game anyway, and it enables a lot more for you to be able to be more mobile around the map. So, I mean, that's how I look at it and everything, but it looks like we got some disables pushed, banned from the Ogre, and it looks like we have a DP ban as well. I still think DP can still be very feared. It definitely was a TI4 hero for sure, and it's kind of dropped off a little bit. I'm seeing the comeback of Storm a little bit more, but definitely I still think that she could be picked and still scared, or be pretty frightful.
10 seconds remaining.
Earthshaker pick from the Radiant. It's a general good support overall. You know, you got the stun, you got the damage.
Kin, thanks for joining us. How are you doing, guys? Or how are you doing? Urbao, hope you're doing great as well. Everyone else who's in our Twitch right now, do appreciate everyone stopping by. You guys are all great, and we appreciate you guys all being here. You guys are fantastic, and we wouldn't be here without you guys, and we hope you guys are having a blast.
Ooh, we have a Ancient Apparition pick from the Dire, which I assume is going to be going to Matt, and as well Tinker, which I also assume will be going to Koby, as he only plays mid.
Yep. Like, obviously, you have the ES, which is really good. The AA and Tinker is going to be really good. Obviously, they don't really coincide with each other too much. I mean, the Ice Vortex is something you can consider in the fact that it could do a little bit more damage. But I'm hoping to see that we get some heroes that can close the gap with this Tinker, so he doesn't, steamroll or get too big or whatnot, or they have some good rotations mid and then kind of shut down this Tinker. That's going to be pretty big, or what we're going to want to see.
Ooh, Doom.
Ooh. So blink Doom. If you were to blink and Doom the Tinker, that can obviously take him out of the team fight. Like, and later on, if the game were to start where they start fighting and you were to blink or just put Doom on the Tinker in general, as of right now, that's generally what you would want to do, and that obviously leaves him out of the team fight, and you just deal with him afterwards. So
exactly.
I like it.
Pretty much all of his abilities are built around using spells. He has obviously the read new or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Push, the missiles, the laser, and his boots of travel. It basically disables him completely.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see that we have a little bit more gap initiation. So I'm thinking if they were to have Doom jungle and maybe pick up a Slark, that's a pretty good hero to counter Tinker really early on in the game, because it's relatively an easy kill for the most part. I know the Tinker Q can, the mischance on it, but still, the Death Impact or whatever the purge from Slark's Q, definitely will just give the mobility. It's a high burst hero to kill a Tinker, and he has such a low HP pool that it's very easy to do so. Same thing with the Ancient Apparition. I still think that Slark is way good of a hero, so I think that's maybe a pick they can consider picking up.
Yeah, Slark can be pretty retarded, especially if he starts ganking early. Depending on your Slark build, you can go Shadow Blade for, I guess, escapability and ganking, or even Blink Dagger, which doesn't necessarily have as much meat to it, but it definitely is. If you are able to blink and land a pounce, it's definitely something that would work in your favor.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, it looks like we had a Razor and Tiny ban on the Radiant side, and a Slark and Zeus ban. So that Slark option is definitely not there anymore. So it's not necessarily you. There's other heroes that can close the gap. You know, Blink and essentially can close the gap. It looks like they pick up a Pudge. So I have seen Tinker offlane. Don't get me wrong, that is a possibility. So we'll have to see how they want to run things, but that definitely is a possibility. Rock and Rolla is the captain, so we want to see what he's cooking up.
It's a pretty unconventional draft again, unpredictable. It's going to be hard for the Radiant to kind of counter draft, as they don't know where the lanes are going to be.
Hey, Ziggle. So I just letting you guys know, this is a Guildy 5v5. It's the red versus blue game, so me and Ziggle Rocks are casting these games. So we're going to be uploading these to our YouTube probably, if not tonight, tomorrow. So just keep, if you want to check out our YouTube, we're going to be adding these relatively pretty soon, and we stream other games and whatnot, but we want to put this up on there. I'm just seeing, do we need to set the function where the videos go to the desktop automatically downloaded instead of the Twitch because of the audio?
That is a possibility, but Twitch does have they have what's like the thing to detect if a song is copywritten. I'm not sure how that works. It should be on. If you want to check OBS, it should be on, hypothetically.
Here, you check it really quick because I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It'll be 1 second. It looks like the CM will get picked up and a Necro will also get picked up. We'll see what they're going to pick up for the 4th pick, but Necro definitely is not to be underrated by any means.
I'd like to see him mid, although he is a pretty viable support as well.
Something about a YouTube channel?
Yeah, there is we do have a YouTube channel. We will be uploading these games to YouTube.
Yes, we do have a YouTube channel. It's it's something we just started recently. We have a couple of videos on there, like our ending of our 24-hour stream, some options that we fuck around with. So that's something that we do as well. But these games, since we casted them and everything, we can label them and then post them to our YouTube channel for you guys to check out and look at, just in case you guys want to see how we casted the game, how you liked, or what you want to look at possibly. That's something you always could try doing, but definitely, for sure, we do have a YouTube channel.
But yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to do it through Twitch, even with still, as saving it to the hard drive is turned off, and we would have to restart the stream in order to do that. Which it's already started the game, so.
Oh, yeah. Looks like we're actually going to see a Ricky pickup. This is more unorthodox for sure. And I think with the Doomcore, Necro, and Ricky, they can very well have enough damage. So I wouldn't underestimate it by any means. Ricky can probably pick off Ancient Apparition, Tinker, Crystal Maiden. Pudge is a little bit more difficult, but still it is easily doable. So I'm liking the draft a little bit. Ricky, like I said, is a little bit more unorthodox, so I'll see what they have to pick for the last pick, but I think they can make it work. The Dire will do a last ban as the Silencer. Nothing too uncommon there. And we're just waiting for the Radiant last ban. Alright, and then we'll get into game number 2 of Red versus Blue. Like I said, I do appreciate everyone who is watching this. This is game number 2 of Red versus Blue Guildy game. Be sure to drop a follow if you guys like us and everything we do. We would appreciate it.
Looks like they do ban the Bounty Hunter. It's a pretty general respect ban overall. You don't really want him going around pulling a pile of die and killing your courier. However, they do pick up the Lycan on the Dire side a little bit for a little bit more pushing power, which means I would assume at this point they could dual lane, but I'd like to see Tinker off lane with a tri-lane top with Lycan and Pudge in the middle.
So this is going to be interesting. They have the Lycan. They're going to have a lot of pushing power with the Tinker and the Lycan alone. And that's just that combo in terms of pushing. But you have the Lycan Howl and the Ancient Apparition Chilling Touch, which are also going to stack really well with the team itself. So I think if they have a well-rounded team for the Dire. For the Dire, I guess it's way more... or I guess the Radiant, I do apologize. The Radiant, it's definitely different. So I'm excited to see what they're actually going to do, because that is definitely way more unorthodox. They run unorthodox builds. Sometimes these do pay off. Necro, if let's say you were to get that ulti off on like a Tinker or a Lycan or a core in general, and let's say you do have Ags, or just, okay, let's just say hypothetically you don't even have Ags. In that case, you pretty much are put in the situation where they're down for at least another 30 seconds, or they can't even buy back if they have Ags. that alone is pretty huge, especially if they're pushing and they like get a kill and you're like, oh, okay, let's go. And they can't buy back on a core, and that's their main damage, and that can be very concerning at times.
So what do you think the thought process was behind picking the Meepo specifically?
I'm assuming he's mid. It's not necessarily bad. I mean, I'm assuming that the Pudge is going to be mid. I think it can go off lane. I'm assuming that's how it's going to go, Lycan being top. So that's how I'm assuming it's going to go. Meepo shouldn't have too hard of a time. It could be concerning once the Pudge starts hooking around and whatnot, but if the Meepo were able to micromanage his Meepos a little bit, he might be able to do enough burst damage to actually kill his Pudge and actually gain tilt on the Pudge. So that is something he can look forward to. Alright, I want to see how the lanes are going to play out because I don't know exactly how they're going to want to lane everything. They might even do dual lane, you never know. But we'll see in the next couple of minutes on how they're actually going to do everything.
I like this ward by the Dire up here. It's actually going to be a pretty aggressive ward, and it's going to give vision over the mid lane.
Oh yeah, that's very good for the mid lane alone. It'll help prevent ganks. And it looks like the Dire will secure both runes. I am going to change the song. I do apologize.
I kind of expected Matt to be playing the AA, as that is probably one of his most signature heroes from what I've seen in recent games, or at least past games from what I've played with him. But instead he's on the Pudge, and it looks like Pudge is going to be going Bond with the Crystal Maiden, I assume?
Oh, I get it. Okay, they're laning completely different of what they thought. So what I'm seeing right now, Necro's going to be mid with the Tinker. Yeah, it's not, honestly, it's not a bad matchup. I actually like this. It's fairly even. It's not, it's really hard for me to determine who would win this lane. And it looks like the Meepo's going to be top. That is a little bit weird. I don't really see it often, but hey, you never know. And it looks like Matt and he's alone. Looks like it's just going to be solo Pudge off lane. They might be trying to go for a kill. No, they're just throwing out a fissure. I'm pretty sure if you look at this, if the fissure was right here and blocked them off, he would have been forced to either go around or, you know, do something else or whatnot. And that actually could have opened up a potential for a kill.
It's actually different to see Matt be playing off lane both games. A lot of the games I've seen him play in the past, like I've said before, he has been support, which... and he's not actually a bad off lane overall. Chrono's going to be on the Ricky, which he likes those kind of heroes that end up being a pain in the ass toward the end of the game, which is kind of funny. All Cockbot has to do here is soak up XP, and hopefully he doesn't die. That's pretty much his main objective at this point. It's just to not die. If he's able to not die, then he can end up moving to the jungle, and I mean, I guess if Doom is able to, rotate, Meepo should be able to end up farming pretty hard, but it's really more about ifs at this point. What they decide to do with the lanes and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, looking at this game, like, the Dire, I think, definitely had the better late game, obviously, just with what they have. So, I like their lineup a lot. It's just, I think that the Dire have a well-rounded team, which is very concerning. With the push and how the heroes are going to synchronize together, that can be very concerning. And Pudge more likely might get his levels, and if they have maybe a little bit of lane management, they might be able to push his Pudge out a little bit. What was that?
So Revelig's sending me a message about his 200-minute game. He's saying a blue light appeared in the middle of the map, rocks fell from the top of the map, and lava followed Panda around. They broke the game because the game went on too long.
They broke the Dota game because the game went on too long?
I've never heard of that happen.
Okay, how about we tell them we cast a game? 3.5 hours or so, whatever, however long that is. How do guys like that? Man, that would be ridiculous, but hey, you never know. Alrighty, Lycan seems to be farming the jungle. He actually, he's actually very close to dying. I don't know what he's doing, actually. It looks like it's really unorthodox, but they do have the, it looks like they have the Crystal Maiden and AA top just kind of chilling. And it looks like the Lycan's jungle. That is a little bit weird to me, considering that he could have complete free farm. And it's going to give this Meepo a lot more potential to get last hits and experience, which he already has 2 Meepos at 2 minutes. So if they don't play their cards right, this could also be very considered or very concerning. Zoko with the Koby mid. Yeah, it's a good matchup, like I said. I'm excited to see if anything does happen here. If we get some rotations on this Tinker, I'm pretty sure they might be able to gain the advantage and put the Tinker on tilt. But he is pretty close to a model.
I'd like to see the Necro do well here. It's not that I don't want the Tinker to do well by any means, but I know how Koby is. I know he only plays mid, and I'm just kind of looking to see a shutdown here.